Like a prison, it was like a rude awakening. It was like, this is real, or this is where you can end up. And especially if you do the wrong thing. You know, I'm all about doing the right thing, do the right things, kids, all the boys and girls out there. I believe in that, but if you ever end up, if anybody, I hope none of y'all out there end up in that situation, but unfortunately people do. So anyway, I got that mentality. So after a while, when I went there, you know, I would come in there and I see the dude's line, I see the same big dude. I'm looking back like, all right, not staring at him like I'm trying to get aggressive with him, but I'm actually, you know what I'm saying, if I look and somebody's staring at you, I just look real quick and match your gaze like, I ain't scared, it is what it is, and keep it moving, you know. Hey everybody out there, what's up? You already know it's your boy LB, and we are back. And yes, finally back. You know what it is? Your boy's back at it like a crack addict. Finally, after God knows how much time. I don't even have a watch on, looking at the invisible watch. But, you know, now I'm talking about it's been a matter of probably a few weeks now. But like I always say, life happens. I'm going to do my best to keep them coming consistently. But it's been a minute. But look, y'all ain't trying to hear me talking all that. Today's episode is LB Tales from the Hood Prison Visits. Okay, so this takes place around the time, I believe I was around 15, 16. And, you know, that's like 30 years ago. So you got to, you know what I'm saying, the memory, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's faulty. You know, I've always had a photographic memory, but, you know, you got to exercise your brain. I still do. I still read, but sometimes stuff from a couple decades ago, it gets a little fuzzy. But we're going to say 15, 16. So basically, I had my god family. My god brother, my godmother, and my god brother had, was it his three brothers? Yeah, his three brothers. So, with my god family, unfortunately, you know, things happen. Like, you know, we all grow up in different type of situations. And, you know, their family down there was basically, they have a name. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to, you know, I'm going to shout out their first names, but I'm not going to blow up their last name. But they have a name, like down south, out west, or whatever. They have different places they live. They have a name because, you know, they grew up pretty rough, you know, well respected and connected. But, you know, they always stayed in trouble. You know what I'm saying? My god brothers, two of them anyway. But I love them. They family, and I never give, you know, I never give up on them. And another thing too, man, just want to say real quick to my God family, I love you all, man. I love you all. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things happen in life. You got to sometimes separate. You know, we're going to get into that later. I'm going to get into the story because people like, we ain't trying to hear all that. Get to the story. Okay. Prison visits. So back around the time I'm 15, 16, my two god brothers that, you know, always get in trouble. They doing time sometimes. Sometimes they skid bid in and out of jail. Sometimes they do a long stretch. It wasn't really, I remember often doing long stretches, but I remember one time, one of my god brothers, he had a pretty long stretch. I'm not going to say what it was, you know, what it was alleged that happened, but it is what it is. So he got sent up to this place called St. Bride's, which is like a state prison, and not like, it is a state prison, and I believe it's medium security. So this is crazy. So we taking these trips, and it's a bit of a drive from where we live, my god brother, my god family and I, to where we drove. I can't remember if it was 45 minutes or whatever, but anyway, you used to take them rides back in the days. We was riding in style though. You know, my god sister, you know, she would get that act legend, so we was up in the legend, and you talking about, you know what I'm saying, 90s? Anybody that know the 90s, in that period, the legend was hot. So we rode in style, but I mean, it was bittersweet because of where we was going to see. You know, you don't want to see your peoples in that place. So anyway, we take them trips up to St. Bride's. Now this was a rough prison. Now I've been to other places, like I've been to county jail to see my other god brother at times, and you know, that's where you go, you know, and I believe that's the one we had to speak to the glass and the telephones and all that. It didn't have it wasn't like the medium security. We was able to actually sit there. But get into the story. So anyway, we going up to the St. Bride's. Now, this was real. This was real because this is like a big intro to jail. You think county jail is? That ain't nothing compared to like the state prisons. It's different. Because with the state prisons, I remember when we got there, you got this, it's like the movies. You got like the towers. I remember, I think there was a guards up there with the rifles, and you have like the barbed wire on top of the fences. You got to go through a security checkpoint, park in this big parking lot, go all this seemed like distance. It was crazy. You have to go online, wait. They got to send you through one checkpoint. You know what I mean? I think they had guards with dogs and all that, you know, sniffing for stuff, make sure nobody's sneaking in contraband, surveying the area. You got to go through all this, that, and this. Sometimes people got to get the wand patch out, all that type of stuff, man. So it was crazy. But another thing is, I think I said in the previous video, I'm a statistics guy. And 1 out of every 3 black persons supposedly is going to end up in prison. or at least not end up in prison, know somebody in prison. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Me, 3 god brothers. Do the math. Somebody, I guess, according to statistics, gonna end up in prison. It doesn't have to be that way, and it's not. You know, sometimes there's outliers, is outside the stat quo, and that's not necessarily. I don't want to make it seem like it's normalized, but these are the so-called official statistics that I read, and you know. Unfortunately, being a person of color, I've known people that's going in and out of prison outside of my God, a lot of other people, and you know, it's crazy. But anyway, and back to the story, you know, so my point in saying that to begin with was the fact that in my mind, even though I'm not going to say I was planning on going out and doing anything or being part of the problem, they look at the Central Park 5. There are times with mistaken identity or you just being accused of something, you can end up in a bad situation. So in my mind, I'm black. That's already like a strike against me based on the numbers, but I'm like, I can control my actions so I don't have to do anything to make me lead up to there. But even if I don't, wrong place, wrong time, mistaken identity, pulled into a lineup, somebody mistakenly points you out, you never know how life's going to go, man. It's been crazy up and down, man. So in my mind, I said, okay, this place is crazy, but let me get myself in the mind state in case I ever end up here. Let me see what the mentality's like. And I remember the first few times I would say going up there, I'm not going to lie, man. I'm not going to sit and be like, yeah, I went up in there and, you know, went through the checkpoints. I mean, the checkpoints wasn't the big thing. It was when they brought the dudes out. We had to wait for one of my god brother that was in there to come out. He was in like a big area where they had a whole bunch of like tables. Looked like a school cafeteria or something. It was huge, bunch of tables you to sit at, and they bring the guys to line out. We would see them come out. And I remember always in the front was this one big dude. He must have been like, I don't know if he was 6'8", freaking 300 something pounds. Looked like he just had nothing better to do but just lift weights all day. And I guess he didn't. He in prison. But, you know, just looked like hell. You know, they said they got like 23 hours and 1 hour when they on lock. They only got that 1 hour freedom or something if they go to the Bing. This dude looked like he worked out 23 hours and had 1 hour freaking rest a day. The dude was just, yeah, I'm just saying that, you know, to a lot of people could be intimidating. So when I first seen him, and that was the first dude out, I was like, all right, and dude, I remember he used to come out just grilling, just mean mugging the hell out of him, and what? So at first when I was in there and you walking, you seen these dudes come up and they looking at people and they looking around like everybody fool, like anybody in here can get it. And I understand you locked in a cage, you gotta have that mentality, it's rough in there, but it was crazy. So at first I was a little like, I ain't gonna lie, you know when people play that game, they get you to flinch. I was trying my best. I'm like, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? You gotta keep appearances up, and inside I was like, oh, huh. But the first few times, but like at the end of the day, I'm looking at my objective. I was there to see, you know, my peoples. Let's have a good visit. It is what it is. So, and then like as I acclimated myself after the first few times, I said, look, man, if I end up in here, I'm gonna end up in here with dudes like him. And plus, speaking of my god brothers, you know, they would tell me sometimes, or they would tell stories of, you know, prison, what it was like and the things they experienced. So just hearing this, people who experienced it firsthand, forget the movies, man, to get a firsthand account of that, it's like it's real. It's like it's real. It's like on some real stuff. I remember seeing a movie once, and a dude was talking about prison. He's like, oh, damn, the first day? You talk to your peoples, it'd be like, yo, that first night, you hear that, and the jail cells lock in, they lock you in. It was like, yo, even before that, it's like, it gets real. So, you know, hearing these stories and experiencing it's crazy. Just visiting there. So anyway, but after a few visits, I ain't gonna lie, once I got the hang of it, I came in there, I said, yo, I know what I gotta do. Keep working out. And I'm saying, just keep my body in shape, not to get ready for prison, but always keep yourself warlike and war ready. You know what I'm saying? Because the best advice I ever got from one of my god brothers, like he said, man, he said, yo, he was like, you don't want to get, you know, older and be one of these dudes that one of these younger dudes is basically pushing around you, they fool, they knocking you out. Because like my god brother was young. When he was like 16 years old, he was knocking out grown men like 26 years old. Bop, bop. But also, I mean, he's a Golden Gloves champ. He's supposed to go to Olympics and all different type of stuff. We're not going to get into all that. But the point is, he was nice with the hands. But he said, you never want to be that old dude. That was me. That getting knocked out by young dudes like me. So he was like, always keep your body warlike ready. Keep your skills on point and all that. So that from then, you know what I'm saying, from the jump, I was, you know, like I said, found myself in the hood. I'm in the mix, man. Got to work out, keep your body right, get the skills up, get your hand skills up. So it's like I was mentally, but being there at the prison, it was like a rude awakening. It was like, this is real, or this is where you can end up, and especially if you do the wrong thing. You know, I'm all about doing the right thing, do the right things, kids, all the boys and girls out there. I believe in that. But if you ever end up, if anybody, I hope none of y'all out there end up in that situation. But unfortunately, people do. So anyway, I got that mentality. So after a while, when I went there, you know, I would come in there and I see the dudes line, I see the same big dude. I'm looking back like, All right, not staring at him like I'm trying to get aggressive with him, but I'm matching. You know what I'm saying? If I look and somebody's staring at you, I just look real quick and match your gaze. Like, I ain't scared. It is what it is, and keep it moving. You know, because there's different levels of aggression. We all know that. If you've been in any type of situation, you start grilling somebody like you want something, you saying you want problems. If a dude's grilling, you can try to grill him back. I'm not trying to match that, because rather than stare at a dude, if that's the case, my thing was, I'd rather look at a female. I don't want to stay here looking at a dude, but I'm like, I ain't afraid of you. I ain't afraid of nobody out there. So, you do that, and, so I guess at that time, too, I always had heart. I felt like, because I always stood up for myself, and I was always ready for whatever, but it's like I said, it really tests you. So, just going to those visits, it was real. And like I said, I was there to show love. And, you also notice one thing. You notice that people forget about you when you're behind the walls. Because, he had his family coming. His sister, my God's sister. His other brother that was with us. Because our other God brother, he was locked up and the other one wasn't there. I think he had lived in another state at the time. But, you know what I'm saying? Family's going to hold you down. I never remember a dude going to see, or one of his mans when they was out here in the streets. I never seen one of his mans going up there. I think once or twice there was another female that took the trip with us and rode along. But most of the time it was just me, my God brother, my God sister, and sometimes my God sister's daughter. So, like my God nieces. But that's about it. Family's the one to hold you down, and it's crazy, man. So, look, the moral of this story, I'm not going to try to drag it out too long, but yo, don't do things to have you end up in there, but at the same time, we all make mistakes. We're human. We're earning to make mistakes. All of us, man. To forgive is divine. To err is human. It's something like that, as it's saying. So don't forget about your people, man. If that's your man, if that's your homegirl or whoever, when they outside, they should be the same way inside. You should look out for your people. I remember when I was in VA, I had got word that one of my peoples I grew up with, my man, he's like a brother to me, he got locked up. He went up north. You know what I'm saying? And I had a lot of love for this brother. I mean, I'm not even, like I said, I don't like the people business on Front Street. I'm not going to say what it was alleged. I'm not even going to put his name out there, out there like that, because you never know. People don't want themselves out there a certain type of way. But, when I found out, I might not have had much. We was poor. If you heard my previous stories, we was poor as heck. But sometimes my grandmother, my grandfather would send me a little money. So if it wasn't around somebody's birthday, Christmas, I had something specific to do, then I would probably, sometimes, me and my God brother go out, get a little feast at the Chinese restaurant or something, or go to the Fry Basket or whatever, the local place. But, other than that, if it was around Christmas or one of my sisters, when I found out I had some half-sisters, when I found them on my father's side, I would save up whatever little money I had at that time, and I would send it to them to give them a little birthday or a little Christmas or something. Any little thing. So the point of that is, that when I found out my man was locked up here in New York and went up north, I was like, I wanted to find out so I could send him a little, at least a letter, but maybe put a little money, get a money order, $10 in the commissary, something for his books or whatever. But it never came to fruition. And what's funny is I found out later that my grandmother, she was so worried about me getting bad influences. That's why she used to beg my mother to take me to Virginia. She's like, get him out of New York. It's the bad influences. I don't want him going in the wrong path. And it's funny, that's ironic, because you can't run from certain things. Certain things will chase you. You might go from a situation to a worse situation. You never know. But she had told his moms, because she's cool, she's cool with a lot of people, and a lot of my friends' moms, that don't let them know where he was at. And, back then we didn't have the internet like that at a certain age. Or if we did, it was still like a baby, and he was like dial up with a telephone. The point is, I couldn't get the information where he was at, although I wanted to, and I wanted to send him a little something. But the point is, and I never even told him that, because, first of all, people probably think you capping. You tell them later, oh, yeah, you're going to send me something, you're right. People forget about you, but I really do. Because one thing about me, I love my people. I never forget about my people wherever they're at. And, sometimes it seems like I'm not the best in staying in contact with people, but another thing is I had to cut off a lot of phony people out of my life, because I grew up with a lot of snakes and fakes. But I also grew up with a lot of good people, so I don't want anybody to take it personal, because I also had to cut people off because of situations with myself. Because there might be something where it seemed like, especially there's different times, but it seemed like there was something around me. Like I'm gonna watch my word, but a certain type of air and things was. Spidey senses was sensing something's not right in the air, but it seemed like something crazy might be headed my way. So if something's crazy headed my way, the way I am, I never want that to fall back on my people, because I really do love my people. If I call somebody my brother, my sister, they're my brother, my sister. And I don't have many of them, because before I left the VA, I made a list of over 100 people that I knew was cool with. And when I moved back, I was checking off the list that, okay, this person ignoring you, this person doing this. You ain't got a card right now. You ain't got the V. They act like you don't exist. Boom, checked off, checked off, checked off, checked off. And you know you narrow it down. The funny thing is, after that, you narrow it down even more. When you're looking at one hand and you just knocking fingers off, you're like, wow. So your circle gets smaller, especially as you get older and you realize everybody is not what they say they are. Because if I love you, I love you. And if I don't love the person, I just ain't gonna mess with them. Because I show everybody across the board respect. And if I ever had love for somebody, even if I cut them off because of what they might have did, they might have violated me, stabbed me in the back, I still don't wish them ill will. I just can't deal with them because I'm not gonna be around toxic people. But at the end of the day, I love a lot of my people that I end up having to cut off, because like I said, I don't want any blowback to come to my people, because it would really hurt me to my heart if anything that was coming on me, and whether I did something intentional or unintentional, because I don't violate people, but sometimes it seems like stuff just come on you, or some type of dark cloud, or you know that the storm's coming. I just don't want that to hit anybody that I care about. So I'd rather step back. I always made sure I kept any type of danger, anything off my front doorstep. Never had blowback in my family. It ain't happened before, it ain't happened now. People that's my brother and sisters I care about, you family. Like all my God family, you know what I'm saying? Maxine, my godmother, love you. Annette, Tim, George, Gary, Aunt, man, I love her, and all your kids, because there's so many. Crystal, Brittany, I don't want to just really start getting into kids' names, because the next thing you'll be like, you left out such and such. But I love my God family, all my people. You know who you are. You know what I'm saying? The ones who I really rock with, because even one thing too is that even if I'm not in the front line, I don't have to talk to somebody for years. I don't talk to somebody for 10 years. We get back together. It's like we never left and we never skipped a beat. That's what it is with my people. I love my people. And I'm going to see y'all one day too, because I got to get back with a lot of people. But like I said, I'm the type that if we go out together, however you came out is how you leave, how you coming home. If there's a bullet meant for my man and my homegirl, more than likely I'm jumping in front of it, because that's how I am. I love my people that much that I die for them. I lay down for them. So I said, if there's anything coming back to my people, I'm going to fall back for a minute, make sure everything's cleared up. And when, when I got that green light, it seemed like it's good, I keep it moving. But, my real people out there know who they are, because I'm always looking on anyway from afar somewhere, even if I'm not actively speaking to people. And one thing, I always try to look out for their family, if they're around, or if I could do anything, or just for them, if I could do anything. So, that's what I'm saying, man. Always. So my message in this video is always keep it solid, hold your people down. You got people behind the wall that may have made a mistake. As long as they ain't did no F-boy or F-girl stuff, like I'm talking about violating a woman, or sexual assault, or violating little kids, or some elderly, or doing something crazy, you should support them. Because even if you're my family, you can have a blood relation to me. I ain't with that. I ain't with the F-ing. Somebody doing that and violating me, nah, we ain't cool, man. I can't be around. I can't be around. I'm not going to support that at all. Period. That's dead. So I live by a certain code. But your people that's behind the wall, the man got caught up in the hood, whatever, things happen, or just in life, support them, man. Send them that comment, say do what you can when you can. We all going through stuff, and like people struggling outside the wall, I understand. But don't forget about your people. That's your man and your homegirl when they out. It should be the same way they in. Send them letters, send them something. They happy to get anything, you know what I mean? Because it gets lonely behind them walls, I'm sure. Isolation. Nobody likes isolation. Look at COVID. Like, I see somebody post online, I think it was my homegirl. Now, I don't know her like that, but I'm saying, she's real cool. Sunny Money from, of IG, Southside. Southside, they outside. I see you out here. I think she posted something like when COVID hit, like all these people complaining about being in the house, like after not even a week. She was like, hi, and those are the first ones ratting. I think it was her who said that, but if I'm miscrediting, misquoting, I'm sorry. But, shout out, Sunny. But anyway, like I said, man. Keep it real with your people. Always look out for your people, man. Show your people love. Never forget about them. And all you boys and girls out there, if you're in some type of a crazy situation, try to get out of it. Do something positive with your life. And the boys and girls coming up, don't look up the negativity, man. Sometimes people, especially from my generation, before I was even born, man, it's a continuing chain. People get caught up in stuff. They get caught up in the environment. They get caught up with negative influences. They want to be like these images they wanted to see on TV, which when I was coming up, it was a little bit deeper than that. It wasn't about rap songs and want to be like that. It was about, just trying to survive environments that we might have found ourselves in. Because I didn't find myself with a certain mentality till I ended up in certain situations that were negative. So it's not like, I was like, yeah, that's right, hood stuff. It is what it is. But thank God, by the grace of God and the Most High, I was able to navigate my way and still be able to survive. And thanks to the mentors and the people who helped me out. So To all my people you are, you know who you are, man. I love you. See you guys soon. Can't wait to talk to you. All you people out there, keep it clean, keep it straight. You're going to be all right. We're going to make it through, baby. Until next time, just chill to the next episode. It's your boy LB, and I'm out. Peace.